What's going on, people? Welcome into the channel. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well today. No, I am, because we've got some fun stuff to talk about today. Today, we're going to look at the championship as a whole. We're going to step back. We're going to look at 4 players I think should not be in the championship. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they're shit. They're terrible. They do not belong in this league. They should be in League 2. No, just kidding. Probably a ton of players like that. What we're going to do today is the other side of that. We're going to look at 4 players that I think not belong in this championship league because they are better. They can make the step up to the Prem were they to get sold, for their team to get promoted. Or on the flip side, I think that they could go play in another top flight league somewhere else throughout Europe, whether it be La Liga, Ligue 1, Serie A. You know all those places, so let's get into it. If you do not know who I am, I'm Joner Fat Cat. I make EFL Championship, Coventry City, and general football content. Also, if I'm looking pristine as hell, because I got a new camera. Still working on the logistics of it. Give me some time to get it exactly angled. It's genuinely bouncing on top of my old Elgato webcam. Not sponsored, by the way. How would I be sponsored? I have 983 subs, but you know what I mean. So before we get into it, please subscribe if you're new. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these 4 players. Also, there's going to be ones that I missed, so please make your case down in the comments for who you also think can be on this list. And before that, one last quick plug before we get into the video.
Frank Lampard is not that man. I don't know how much more evidence people need in big positions at football clubs.
I cannot deal with this shit anymore, bro. I gotta call him.
Okay then, Jonah, what do you want?
Alex, do not ask questions. Get your shit together. We are starting a podcast.
I don't know, podcast equipment. I assume it's pretty expensive.
Honestly, bro, it should be more expensive.
Okay then, what should we call it?
I'm not sure. What about Below the Prem? Yes, I'm starting a general EFL Championship podcast with my good friend Alex Craig. The first episode is going to be out Monday the 13th. If you've been here before, you know there's a lot of things I'm not good with. I'm good with football. I'm not good with dates. I'm not good with geography. I did mess up the date on that, but it's okay. Let's get into the content. So, the first player that we are going to talk about today is a midfielder. His team is in the top 6. They're currently in second. It's not who you think if someone came directly into your brain. It's not Hayden Hackney. It is Aiden Morris of Middlesbrough. He's a 23-year-old central defensive midfielder for Middlesbrough. Market value is sitting at £6 million. He's a short king, 5'10", and he is having an absolutely cracked year. Let's get into some Let's get into some statistical backing why this is the first player on our list. And by the way, guys, let me know if you like this camera better than the other one. It looks a little bit different. I think it's better by a lot. It is a higher quality, higher FPS, all that nonsense that you probably don't care about. So, again, Joner's Book of Joy is coming out. This is all positive today. We're not trashing anyone. And it is going to be a mouthful for this guy because he's probably the lowest hot commodity, quote unquote, or the smallest name in this list. But his statistical backing is big. So it's probably pretty well known that Middlesbrough have one of the best midfield tandems in the championship. And Hayden Hackney is the name that people tend to gravitate towards. You know, he was rumored to go to the Prem. He was rumored to go to Ipswich. Big figures for a championship player is going to bring eyes. But I want to bring eyes to his partner in crime. The one that allows Hayden Hackney to release and move forward in the Middlesbrough offense. So Hayden Hackney has a 90.3% passing accuracy this season. That's good for number 7 in the entire championship. He has attempted 535 passes this season, so it's no skewed statistic at all. He is right near the top there. He's only 1.5% off of the leader. He has 643 total touches. That is number 3 for midfielders in the championship. Who he's behind? He's behind someone who's in this list later in the show, and that's going to be a recurring topic here. So there is someone that is above him, but we are going to just talk about him right now. It's not important. And that's all fine and dandy. He gets a lot of touches. What does that translate to? He does only have 1 assist on the season, but that's not exactly what I'm really focused on with him. He's more of a defensive midfielder. He gets work done behind the ball. Middlesbrough have been really good at defending this year. They've only conceded 6 goals the entire season, and he is a big part of why. He has 28 tackles this season. So in 9 games, that sits number 2 in the entire league. And remember, this guy is a midfielder, okay? And he's not just a sit back, do nothing. He has the most tackles in the final third this season. So he isn't just sitting back and playing defense, acting as a 5th center back. He also does know when to move up the pitch, make progressive passes. He's got 52 progressive passes. That's number 11 in the entire league. That's, separate those fingers, supposed to be 11. He's got 13 blocks. It's also good for number 21 in the year. Now, let's go away from the statistics because some people love him, some people hate him. I like to use him here and there. We also just want to look at Middlesbrough, the team, and how they set up. And really kind of just how Rob Edwards has gotten the most out of that midfield tandem this season. So you can see it right there. Hackney is the one getting all the fame and the glory. I mean, they haven't scored a crazy amount of goals this year, but he is actually the tied leader for goals and assists. Now, they set up in a back 3/back 5, whatever you want to call it, okay? Now, when they have the ball, and this is confirmed by a Middlesbrough fan, I've watched games, I've seen it myself, but it's been confirmed by someone who actually analyzes them on a week in and week out. So it isn't just a one-off. They shift into a 4-2-4 when they have the ball. So 4-2-4, we know, is one of the most attacking formations, and it allows the ability to get counterattacked very, very easily, unless you have someone in the midfield who really can truly be a box-to-box guy and slow those counters from happening, and Morris is the guy that can do that. Whether he's sitting back and making tackles and condensing that back line, or he's making tackles in the attacking third, because remember we mentioned he has the most tackles in the attacking third of any player in the championship this season. I just think he's been really sound, and he's going a little bit under the radar. He is one of the most impressive heat maps in the entire championship this season. That is just unheard of. This guy is everywhere on the pitch. He's an engine. He's a maestro. He can pass. He can cover distance. He can play defense. Maybe he's not going to give you too much in the attacking goal and assist sheet, but he is making those progressive passes. So the numbers do not lie. Aiden Morris is a very, very good player. He just got a cap for the U.S. men's national team last night. He's pushing for a World Cup spot in a very convoluted midfield with Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, who both play in top flight leagues. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Aiden Morris and Middlesbrough can do the rest of the season. And you know what? Because we already alluded to him before this, we're going to stay with another midfielder. It's our last midfielder before we move into two attackers who you probably might be able to predict. But we're going to talk about Matt Grimes next. Matt Grimes is a central defensive mid for Coventry City, the team that I support. I watch Matt Grimes week in and week out. He's an absolute stud. I will back it with the eye test. I will back it with his heat map. I will back it with a couple statistics. I've talked about it before, so you may have seen it, but I just can't talk about him enough. Probably the most influential signing from Coventry City since Victor Gyökeres, which is a crazy thing to say. Matt Grimes is a little bit older, to be fair, so he's not really someone that they're going to sign to flip. He's probably someone that, say they were to go up, and that's not me saying they're going to go up. I think that he would definitely stay in the team. He would continue to be the captain. He just got the armband after Ben Sheaf departed to Wrexham. Just a really sound guy. He's a true professional. He doesn't have a good injury history. No, he does have a good injury history. He doesn't get injured a lot, knock on wood. I just think he's someone that could truly make the step up to the Premier League, and maybe he's not going to rely on natural ability, but he's going to rely on his football IQ and his positioning to hold his own against some of the world's best. So he's 5'10", same as Aiden Morris. Seeing a little theme there. He is 30 years old, like I said. He's got a market value of around £5 million. Do the translation if you want the conversion. He started every game this year. He has 1 assist. Now, the passing game is really where I'm the most impressed with Matt Grimes, and I think it goes under the radar because he tends to sit back as a number 6 and unlock and allow the other midfielders of Coventry City to play freely and roam because he's so sound back there. He's got the most progressive passes in the entire championship by a sizable amount. So he's got 75. Remember, Aiden Morris had 53. He's got 83% pass accuracy, which is also a little bit below Morris, but he does have more progressive passes, so I think that goes to show he's probably a little bit more direct and forward than Morris, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's play style. It depends on the team. He's got the most touches of any player in the entire championship this year, and he's got nearly the most tackles won. He's got the second most tackles won in the championship. Sorry guys, I misread. He's got the 20th most tackles. So it just goes to show he can kind of do a little bit of both. Again, very similar archetype to Morris where, he's the true number 6, but if he needs to, he can push forward. Definitely would probably prefer Morris in the attack over Grimes, but then on the vice versa, I would prefer Grimes in defense over Morris. But I think those two definitely wouldn't have an issue making the jump to the Premier League. Obviously, the shelf life on Grimes is less because he is older, but like I said, he's very healthy. He takes care of himself. He doesn't get injured much. And yeah, Matt Grimes, quality player, class act. I could see him having an impact at the next level. The next player, the third player of 4 on the list, and the first of 2 attackers that we're going to talk about is the Leicester City forward right winger, Abdul Fatawu. Leicester have been the best performing parachute payment team this season. He is a big reason why. He leads the team in goals. He leads the team in goals and assists. He leads the team in foot mob rating. He leads the league, yes, the entire league in successful take-ons. He has 33 successful take-ons. That is the most in the league by a decent amount. I will say as a caveat, he has attempted the most, so he's attempted 80 take-ons, which is 40 more than the next best person. But that is not a testament to him not being a good player. What I'm saying is he knows how to dribble, and he's going to do it. We've seen it time and time again. He has taken the game by the horns. If you guys use that statement over there, I really don't know. He takes games by the horn. We saw it in the Coventry City versus Leicester City. I'm going to lean back on that game because I can give the best analysis because I truly watched every single minute of it. I'm not just going to watch highlights and make opinions based on that. He went against Jay Da Silva that game, and he was one of the scariest attackers I've seen in the championship this entire season. He had Jay Da Silva really having to stay back, not do much in the attacking game, called for our wingers to come back and help with him because he was just so quick, so unpredictable, can cut in, can go down the line. He's got blistering pace. He's a very strong player, and I don't think there is much of an argument to know. Probably could go to the Prem, maybe even in the next window. We know Leicester City have a points deduction looming. I don't know if that would necessarily affect it, but Fatawu is really impressed, the Ghanaian forward. He's got a market value of £16 million, and he's only 21 years old, so you figure that number is probably going to keep climbing and going up this year. And there's no question, he lives and dies down that right wing. You can see his heat map right there. That is where you want him if you are a Leicester City fan, and that is where you do not want him if you are a fan of the opposing team, because he can be so lethal in more ways than one. He's got the most received progressive carries this season, so they are looking for him, rightfully so. He deserves to be fed the ball in dangerous areas to try and create goals and goal-scoring opportunities. Similar but also different stat, he also has the second most progressive carries this season, so it's the same definition as the progressive pass. I probably would have put it in already. If not, I'll put it in now. But it's the same exact definition. It just involves you carrying the ball instead of passing. So he is doing it all out there. He's boosting a 69% passing accuracy, which isn't the best. But again, his work is not done in the passing game. His work is done on the ball, dribbling past defenders, similar to a Jeremy Doku style. If he can just keep improving that final ball, he will be very scary. And he surely will find himself in a Prem kit very soon. Well, guys, we are back to poverty for the last player because my camera died. Gonna have to figure that, get that sorted out. But hey, at least we got a good chunk of the video, and we are going back to the well. Sorry, we're going back to Coventry City. They are top of the table. They deserve it. They have been the best performing team in the championship. And even if you are a fan of a rival club, you cannot really argue that, to be fair. It's Haji Wright, the striker, American striker, 27 years old. Stud. And yeah, guys, basically Haji Wright just dominates every goal scoring statistic in the championship this year. It makes sense. He's been fed the most chances. Coventry have scored the most goals. We know they have the highest goal differential. They've smashed teams by multiple goals. He's gotten in on the fun. I wouldn't really say that he's been stat padding, though, to be honest. He does score important goals. He did score a goal to make it 3-0 in the Sheffield Wednesday game, which was offsides. If you know, you know. He scores early and he scores effectively, and he's got us ahead in games. He got us ahead in the Derby match earlier in the season. He scored the goal against Norwich City to bring us the 1 point in the draw. He scored important goals this season. Now let's just talk couple statistics, nothing too crazy. You can see it right there. 8 goals in 9 matches, so 1 goal per start this season. He has the highest XG by 3.2 XG, so he's got 7.6. Number 2 is Brandon Thomas Asante. Number 3 is Josh Sargent, got 1.07 goals per 90. That's really class. That's really an insane statistic, number 1 in the championship. He also has the most shots in the championship, which common sense logic, it does just make sense. And really, I just wanted to bring him back up here because I just wanted to just take a little bit of a victory lap. This may be biased of me as a Coventry City fan, but I think Haji Wright is my favorite bet value-wise to win the Golden Boot in this upcoming season. I had the American bias going in. I had the Coventry bias going in. I'm sorry, but there's no denying he is a great goal scorer. People always got on him, especially against Sunderland in the playoffs last year, for being lazy, not tracking back on defense. And you know what? I agree back then. He did seem a little bit lazy, but he's picked it up this year. I just watched him get a 10-minute cameo last evening in the U.S. men's national team friendly. Little tune-up for the World Cup because he is trying to make the squad. Arguably as a fringe squad guy, he's fighting against 2 other championship strikers, which is pretty ironic. Josh Sargent and Pat Adjumang of Derby County. He was pressing like his life was on the line. His dog, his family were tied up or something, and he had to press or else they would have gotten taken away. And it's even translated to Coventry this season. It's hard to see on the broadcast because obviously, if you couldn't tell, I'm not from Coventry. But when he's not on the camera, he is pressing, he is making tackles, he is involved in not just goal scoring opportunities. Maybe he's a little bit wasteful, and I do agree. But all good strikers are wasteful because they know how to put themselves in the right position, even if they can't get a clean hit or can't get the position. They're at least dangerous, and they always pester center backs. I mean, he's had some center backs in hell this season. He had a really good battle with Chris Clark of Birmingham City. That was an absolute war between those two. I really like watching him play. He gets stuck in with center backs. They're pushing and shoving each other. Obviously, it's all respectful. No dirty play is going on. The dirtiest thing about him is he tends to kick the ball away a lot, which gets him a couple of yellow cards. But no, it's all fair play. It's all good stuff. It's just great football to watch. And I do think if it were to happen, whether he gets promoted with Coventry City or he does end up in the Premier League, I think his play style would translate very well. He's also a premier penalty taker. He's got a very high conversion rate, and he scored very high pressure penalties. Wembley against Manchester United, he scored game-winning penalties. So yeah, Haji Wright I think can make the step up. So that is going to be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little different than normal. Also, hope you tune into our podcast coming out on Monday. I'll leave the link to the channel in the description of this video. It's also all over Twitter, YouTube, maybe TikTok, below the Prem. So if you liked it, please comment. Please let me know what you agree and disagree with down below. Like the video if you're still here at the end. It means a lot. It helps push it. We're closing in on 1,000 subs, which is absolutely electric. Thank you to everyone, and peace.